Coaching. And today with me is Tony. Hello, Tony.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I think we have a small delay in the reception. I don't know on which end. And because your picture is now froze. And now you're back. All right.
Okay.
So I am here in Tenerife.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can share where I'm sitting here on the
Beautiful.
coast.
Hmm.
And you are in California or home
Phoenix,
in
Phoenix,
Phoenix?
Arizona. Yeah.
Okay, Phoenix, Arizona. And you have a new dog, you showed me, whose name is
Yes.
Wee. Now,
Yes.
now, what's the
Nami.
action? Nami,
Nami.
like
Just like
Nami,
tsunami.
tsunami, Nami. That's why tsunami is called tsunami because it's actually a wave, huge wave.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, something learned today. Nice. So it's a little bit windy here, and that's why my camera is kind of shaking. I hope it's okay.
Oh, that's what that
Yeah.
sound is. Okay.
The sound is, oh, you hear the wind? I
Well, I hear
hope
it sounds
you
like
hear.
it sounds like tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah.
Oh, the tapping. Okay, no, the tapping. It must be my earphones. So let me then switch to the other earphones because yeah, I've been told that there was tapping, and I wasn't sure. It's always it wasn't just that connection. Let's just try this one.
Okay.
So now is the tapping? Is the tapping still there? Tapping? It's gone.
No. Yes.
Okay, so these earphones are disqualified. Okay,
Yeah.
so today we're going to have a coaching session
Hmm.
in the with the model. We're going to follow a model which I've learned um, from a school which is accredited with by the ICF International Coaching Federation, and the model is called GROW. GROW standing for it's an abbreviation. It stands for goal, reality, options, will. So we're going to follow these steps. I mean, you don't have to, know any of that. It's just I find it helpful for people who maybe want to, be able to follow along um, how a coaching session works. I personally found it always very interesting, very um, exciting to understand how things work, especially how therapy works. So today, I'm very interested and very excited about what topic have you brought, and I will just with like a small sentence pop in which stage, let's say, we are in on that model. So the first stage is goal. Basically, that is the topic. So I'm very excited about your topic. Yes, sorry. That's now what I mean. What is your topic now for this coaching session?
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. So my topic is actually something I want to flesh out is that something I've wanted for a long time, but I just haven't, it hasn't happened and I haven't done, is really,
Hmm.
I'm looking for my next relationship or my next life partner. And it
Say that
hasn't
again.
really,
Sorry. I'm
my
looking for.
next life partner,
Hmm.
like, you know,
Yeah.
and it's something I've wanted for a while as I've gone through my transition,
Hmm.
um, but it hasn't taken place.
Hmm. So, and when we're talking about your next life partner, talking in terms of your goal for today's session, how would you say it in one sentence? What would you like to achieve today in this session?
Sure. Um, I think what I'd like to achieve is just to be. Let me think about this. Uh, I would like to start. I think that I've been stuck and afraid at doing anything related to this.
Hmm.
And I'd like to be in a place where I'm just more comfortable, you know, to actually take risk and go out and make it happen. You know, and I fully understand that, this, finding a partner is a little different than maybe some
Hmm.
other goals. Yet at the same time, I think that here, let actually talking
Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Hmm.
this one is um to be in a place where I'm more action oriented, and to be in a mental place where I'm more action oriented
Hmm.
related to this. And I know that, again, finding a relationship's a little different than maybe other goals, like a business goal or financial goal.
Well, sure, sure, but um, any goal in terms of a coaching goal has to
Mhm.
follow some rules, and it really doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the goal is. It could be a business goal, it could be a goal like just you said, finding the next life partner. It can be anything related to health, really
Mhm.
anything. So there are just a few checkpoints that say I would like to go through with you in order to check the first phase of our conversation, which is the goal. So a goal basically needs to be clear, clear
Right.
in terms of anything we say. Things like you said, I want to be more comfortable to take risks. Words like comfortable or risk might be um, open for interpretation because everybody has their own understanding of, let's say, comfortable in this case. So if you say I'm more comfortable to take risks, what do you mean by um, what is comfortable for you?
Okay. Um, I would say that comfortable to me would the opposite. I'm going to say where I am and where I'd like to be. Comfortable is where I'd like to
Yes.
be. What is that? I think it's that it's natural,
Mm-hmm.
that
Sure.
I'm genuinely myself. Third, that
Mm-hmm.
I'm engaged, doing this socially. And
Yeah.
I think I've been in a place of being the opposite,
Mm-hmm.
of being more in fear and hiding.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you
So
said stuck and afraid. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think to be comfortable is just to know that to be comfortable also means that there's a little. It's like something I want. It's like the contradiction. The contradiction is not being overly attached. Like I have to get this now, which is like scarcity. But
Mm-hmm.
the comfort is the comfort in myself to
Mm-hmm.
put myself out there.
Mm-hmm. And if you would, uh, if you scaled it from 0 to 10, where 0 is you're absolutely in fear, you're really hiding, you're very much afraid, and you're not doing anything, you're really hiding, like you're not going out, you're not answering even messages if somebody asks you to go out or to just say like, yeah, let's just have a conversation. and 10 would be you're absolutely comfortable. You feel this being comfortable in yourself, and this is really a natural thing for you. So where are you standing right now? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And where would you like to be, ideally? Okay, 8 or 9. Good. Perfect. So now we have eliminated um, the let's say this freedom of interpretation of your comfortable, because someone else's uncomfortable might feel
Sure.
different, and that is absolutely natural. And so that's what we need to do. Let's see what else. I'm more comfortable to take risks. So this more comfortable, to be more comfortable, that already implies that now you are at 4 and you would like to be more comfortable. So let's say at 8 or 9. Yes, to take risk to make it happen, you said. So what does taking risk mean for you?
Um, to not be scared of rejection. And I
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
probably for God, it's so funny because coaching questions are always very direct, but then you don't go. Uh, anyway, um, I have is I was married before I transitioned. I was married for many years, like
Mm-hmm.
20, almost 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of the fear is reliving that experience.
And that experience of exactly what? Of the
The
marriage,
experience is
of losing your
yes,
partner, of having problems within the marriage.
sure, sure. I think that to be together for a long time and 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 kind of tolerating a marriage
Mm-hmm.
and and when I transitioned, it got really bad. And by got really bad is just um, is really difficult between the two of us, and then between
Mm-hmm.
all of our social circles is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when when I think about having a new relationship, that at this point in my life, I'm not younger, so it's kind of like I guess maybe the thought is like, well, I need to get it right. That's and I know
Uh-huh.
there's no such guarantee in life, but by getting it right, meaning that, I just have to put the most genuine, authentic version of me out there. And I
Right.
think in relationships, I feel some insecurity about that.
Mm-hmm. So if we go in deeper into the insecurity about genuine, putting it more most the most genuine authentic version of you out there, that that would be already further into the coaching or and into the um, reality, and then we go to options. Just to clarify, so I asked earlier about what it means to take risks, and just to clarify that I got it right, getting risks means for you the the fear of having the same bad experience as you had with your last partner, who, as I understand, did not get well with your transition, did not take it well, and therefore taking a risk in finding or to yes in finding a new partner for you means um, to not make it right, you said I need to get it right, to get it not right, in and that would be the risk. not not to get it right, so that the mistake or the, you didn't say that, so that the relationship that you have in the future does not repeat, or your experience is not repeated. Is that
Very
correct?
good.
Did I get
Yes.
that right?
Yes. Yeah, very good.
Okay. Okay. So I'm more comfortable to take risk to make it happen. And we talked about how comfortable you are now to take risk to make it happen and where you want to be. Mhm. Then you also said create circumstances to allow it to occur, and that already, I think, that is the options, and we will get to that in a second. So just to give you a little perspective on the grow model. So we've just been speaking about the G, the goal. So the goal for today's session is to get you more comfortable to take risks to make it happen, and just to clarify just a little bit more, to be a little bit more specific. mm, what do you think is possible within a session like this? We have, I think, another, say, 30 minutes, um, that you realize for yourself that we can have in this conversation, um, for you to feel that you are more comfortable to
Hmm.
take risk and make it happen.
Hmm. Oh my gosh. Well, the beauty of coaching is always more clarity,
Uh-huh.
and
Hmm.
I think when I think about this,
Hmm.
um, I'm not sure if it's answering your question exactly, but what I take away, or what comes up for me when you ask that question,
Hmm.
is um oh my god, coaching always goes deep. You know what really comes down to, and what would make the biggest difference is, I think when I talk about this topic matter, is especially within relationships, is a feeling of my own worth,
Hmm.
of my own worthiness in relationships, or deserving. And
Hmm.
I think those an internal thing. Um I think that's the bigger issue going on for myself.
Okay,
Um
so that is where you are right now. That's where you stand right now. You feel like your worthiness. That's what really underneath of this. Your feeling of if you're worth deserving
mhm,
a relationship in which you can be your true authentic self, which is
mhm.
which is functioning. So
What can we do
so now
today?
you're
Yeah.
now you're yes you're trying to analyze the reasons which lie behind it. You said, however, I have more clarity. So by the end of this session, I have more clarity on how I can be more comfortable
Mhm,
to take risks to make it happen. How does that sound?
mm. Oh,
Have
sounds
more
great.
clarity, yes.
Yeah, no, having
And
more clarity.
how much clarity do you have right now? How do you think? Like on the from 0 to 10, where 0 you have no idea what to do whatsoever, and 10 is yes, absolutely clear, absolutely
I
clear.
think it's similar to the other number. It's like
Uh
4
huh.
or 5. It's like
It's
at
about
4 or
four or
5.
five, and you want to
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
Mm,
because I've been doing the same pattern, which
you've
means,
watched yourself
to
doing the same pattern.
yeah, yeah.
Where would you like to be in, today?
Oh my gosh, clarity. I think, like, if you
Hmm.
have clarity, I mean, the rest is a lot easier. So I'd love to be at 8 or 9. Yeah.
Okay, 8 or 9. Okay, okay. Let's get further. So what we already actually touched upon is the second part of the model, the reality. So your reality, your today's situation that you are in right now? How would you describe it? Um, in the sense of
Um,
that you are already taking risks. What are you actually doing right now to find a new partner?
oh, to find a partner, I mean, in reality, no, I'm not doing a lot. In reality, I'm doing all the other things, which
Mm,
is I'm keeping myself occupied with
mm-hmm.
business, with
Yes.
personal things, other social and
Mm-hmm.
spiritual things,
Yes.
and so I'm not. In a word, I'm probably in a place of avoidance.
Mm-hmm. So your reality now, you are you're not you're not tackling this situation. You're not doing actually you're doing the opposite of looking for more. So
Right.
you're not going out, etc. etc. Not writing people, whatever. That would be my understanding of how people find new partners. You might have a completely different one. So let's keep going. Um, so your reality right now is you also, however, it in your mind going through, you're analyzing what can be lying behind the reason why you're actually keeping yourself occupied. Why aren't you actually looking for a new partner, right? And one of the things was, as you said, um, where your worthiness deserving you're deserving of it and
Hmm.
or not, and how to be, or you said you need to get it right. So that is important because you are very conscious of what happened before. You know what I love about Byron Katie? Byron Katie has nothing to do with the grow model, but I am a big fan, and I am, she's speaking in my head very often in very many situations. And whenever somebody says something like, I need to get it right this time, or I like, let's say you are talking about your past. You've been married for many, like 2 decades probably,
Hmm.
or more, was it, to somebody else, and somebody who didn't appreciate you actually. So what is happening is your mind is doing time travel. So you have a situation, you want to reach something, you want to reach a goal, you have a dream, you have a desire, and 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 you feel you're afraid of doing something. And the moment you feel afraid, the moment you feel stressed about anything, that is your mind, and that is said in Byron Katie's words, doing time travel to the past and to the future at the same time. So you're anywhere but not in the here and now. So basically, you are in the past by remembering how bad things were, considering the goal you have, and in the future how bad it can be. Um, it can be just the way it was or worse. Our mind is very good in predicting very horrible things happening to us, and and that is how Byron Katie basically identifies stressful thoughts. So we are not in the here and now; we are in the past and in the future at the same time, and that is wonderful. I think to actually identify just that, only that,
Hmm.
just that.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
right. So in the here and now, when we look at your reality, in the here and now, are you okay?
Um, I'm not sure. Okay, in what respect?
What I
That's an
mean
open
by that
ended.
question, it
Yeah,
is.
it's
So,
an open ended
mhm,
question. Yeah.
so within the terms of your goal, so
Hmm.
you you would like to have more clarity, be more comfortable to take risks and to make it happen. And when you think about finding a new partner, you feel afraid, you're trying to hide. But when you're
Mm-hmm.
doing that, again, your mind thinks your past can repeat itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you move yourself back to the here and now, if you look at yourself being by yourself, not having any partner, not having any inverted
Okay.
commas bad partner, not having any good partner, how are you? Just
Okay.
here and just
Gotcha.
now.
Wow. Um, I think in general, there's many things that I'm very happy about how things have gone for me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, I think just this is definitely moving to a new city, buying a new home, having like a whole different part of my life.
Uh-huh.
It's been really good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Those in those parts, I feel really good
Mm-hmm.
about myself. On the other hand, also moving to a different place and different city also pointed out to me the things I needed to work on, which was a
Okay.
lot. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, I feel good and I'm very okay that I've continued to work on a path of my own healing and growth.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot I had to
There's a lot I had to, and then I didn't catch the word you said after that.
I didn't hear you.
Could you? I think we have like connection disturbance. So you just said there is a lot I have to. What did you say?
There's a
Work on?
lot there I think there's a lot of things about myself
Mm-hmm.
that being in a new place in a new city that it became very obvious things about myself that I had to address.
Address. Right. Right.
Good. And I guess really I struggle because like, are you okay is such
Mm-hmm.
a big general question. In
Yes.
general, yeah. Is there still lots to work on? Yeah, definitely.
Is that okay?
I think and it's an issue today. Is
Mm-hmm.
that especially like you have things in your life, maybe it's one place, but it goes across other areas. What I did have an issue with is of self-isolation, you know? And I think that's the thing
Okay.
that especially lately, it's something that I've been changing
Mm-hmm.
and to realize that like that's been a pattern of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think especially it relates to what we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm. So you would like
So
to not be alone, not isolate yourself,
yeah, or
and mm-hmm.
yes, yes, that I had a tendency to isolate, and I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that when I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
Had I remained in Los Angeles, I never would have noticed that.
Uh-huh. So basically, you came out of your comfort zone,
Oh,
isn't it?
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
And that's the way to grow.
Mm,
So we do not grow when we're staying in our comfort zone, right? So,
I just followed my intuition. I didn't think about it
mhm,
much,
right.
and normally I overthink it. So
Mm,
and when it happened, it just happened like it was like magic. I
okay.
I went from internet listing to escrow in 3 days.
Wow.
You know,
Mhm.
and it's
So you see
and
what
I'm
you are
very.
capable of. You are capable of following your intuition.
Mm-hmm,
You're capable of making fast decisions,
mm-hmm,
and they go well. It did go well,
absolutely,
right? You said everything went like
absolutely,
one thing after
absolutely.
another.
And
Amazing.
I've lived in Phoenix for 2 years, and right now you know I've lived in Los Angeles all my life, so this was a
Hmm.
big move.
Hmm.
I'm and it took me a while to get used to live in a new city in a new area.
Hmm.
I feel really comfortable. This is really, I have a beautiful home. Excuse me. I have a beautiful home. The home just turned out to be the right area of Phoenix that's good for me. I have
Okay.
everything I need. I have everything I
Okay.
need.
Okay. So, let me just interrupt you. Just one moment. Just look at that. Just what you
Hmm.
have in the here and now,
Hmm.
and you have this here and now because you've achieved it. You've done things. You've moved. You've made big decisions, and here you are where you are. Can you see that that is okay? I'm not implying you don't have to change that. You shouldn't change it. Just be
Oh
here
no, it's remarkable.
in where you are.
It's it's remarkable. If knowing where I
Mhm.
feel like, you know,
Mhm.
and that took
Okay.
some, you know, and I
Yes.
feel very. And as well, I think my own social circles have evolved here,
Hmm.
and as well, I would put it a little deeper. It's like it's like more of a purpose. Like I have a purpose here,
Hmm.
you know. So
Hmm.
and that's something that's
Okay.
involved in my time here, you know.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Yes. Well, you told me that you are keeping yourself occupied. You have
Mhm,
things to
mhm,
do. You do a lot to, well, you have a purpose, and let's now just to tell you why I rose this question about the how you feel,
mhm.
if you're feeling okay. This is just something to, like a haven to come back to. Whenever we feel stressed, just ask ourselves, am I
Okay.
actually okay? Right?
Yeah.
So just
Sure.
just for a moment, just go back, just come back to yourself,
Hmm.
to where you are. Just take a deep breath and just feel it that actually
Yeah.
I've come a long way, and actually maybe I'm even, you said remarkable. It's unbelievable where I am.
It totally is because
Okay.
in before you met me in Marissa Peer, um,
Hmm.
like after I divorced and transition and all that, I had nothing. I had nothing. I mean, monetarily,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
true.
Okay. So, and there is just one more step I would like to offer
Mm.
you.
Sure.
So, one thing is just to say to yourself, just to feel it actually, I am actually much more than okay.
Mhm,
But okay is enough, absolutely.
mhm,
And then the only thing, the only time when I have to be okay is here and now,
mhm,
because that's where we actually are. We don't live tomorrow. We don't live yesterday. We live now, and that's where we should be okay. That's where it's a where that's where it's what it's all about. It's always
mhm,
about now. And when I
mhm,
can find that place where I'm okay,
mhm.
from then on, I can move forwards. Because whenever I feel not okay, whenever I feel in fear, I'm only trying to force something which is not there out of fear.
Sure.
You know what I mean, right? So, and that is actually much easier than we often think. When we look at the problem, the huge, horrible problem, it feels like it's just horrible. And this is the scarcity mindset. However, if we return to the here and now where we are okay, and the here and now where is the only thing and the only time where we should be okay, that's actually the easiest thing of all. Normally, when we come back to the here and now, we're always okay. Because whenever we're stressed, we're not in the here and now. So that is just one thing I would like to offer you, and that is a little bit more of an input. And please also just consider it as an offer, as an input that you don't have to accept. It's just something I love about Byron Katie's work. Sorry.
But no, I appreciate
Hmm.
the reference.
Okay. If you want, we can do another session where we just do the work by Byron Katie, and that is amazing. That is inquiry. It's called inquiry, but some other time. I love that. I really do. So let's just move forward. Um, let's move forward to the options. Let's see.
Mhm,
You said I would like to, or I have to create circumstances to allow it to occur.
mhm.
Let's just look into that a little bit more deeply. How can you create circumstances to allow it to occur?
Well, I mean, abstract. We'll go from abstract to specific, but I think an abstract is really to be open to the opportunities, to be open to the opportunities when they present, and to be open in my
Mm-hmm.
heart, for these things to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and and I think, continuing with our thoughts, that, open in my heart is knowing that, this is, yeah, we have this moment, and this is a different time and different place for me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I to get into more of this, to get into more of the specifics. Number one, I can do things to date or socialize and stuff like that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which I have not been doing.
Socialize. Mm-hmm. But in order to do that, you have to create
Yeah.
open space. You have to open up in your heart. How can you do
Yes,
that?
absolutely. I think to open up my heart is just okay. I'll tell you what comes up when I think about that is,
Please.
just to just be willing, just be willing to engage that without a whole bunch of other thought behind it, and be willing to learn from it. Like, because when I was here, there was a lady that I really liked,
Yes.
and we kind of met each other, but then it turned out no, we weren't going to date, but we're just still going to be
Mhm.
friends.
Yes.
And then, and actually, I had to learn something, and it was really
Yeah.
just nice being friends with this person, and she was a
Yeah.
really good, So I think the thing that comes up for me as part of being open is just there's things that I need to learn in this experience about, that, to have something that's better than what I had,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have to be willing to have a different experience.
Is it possible to have something better than what you had?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, because,
Right?
oh,
Yes.
oh God, yes. Because it's like, I'm a totally different person. And
You
second,
are.
that, um, I'm just generally who I am right now. There's
Yes.
no,
Yes.
so, opportunities when they present themselves. And I think
Mm-hmm.
also to engage in dating and things like that, but with not a lot of attachment about it, just to enjoy
Mm.
it for what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and knowing that, my goal, my intention, my, you know, where I want to be is what we talked about.
Yes.
Yet, you know, it's like anything else. You learn by, you create it by doing it. It's just like in business, you know, if I don't
Mm-hmm.
call, if I don't make reach outs for leads, well, I'm never gonna have any business, right?
Right. How can you make reach outs?
Excuse me.
How
Excuse me,
can
say that
you
again?
make reach
Yeah.
outs in this sense
I
of socialize? Is it socializing? Sorry.
yeah, I think right here in Phoenix is the thing that it's funny. I had long connections to the LGBTQ community in Los Angeles, but right here, I haven't reached out all that much to the community here.
Yes.
And
And is this
they're
something
just
you want to do?
yeah, yeah. Both,
Right.
funny, both professionally and personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
So
I
you
have
want to
some
reach out. So
connections. Go ahead.
you want to reach out to the LGBTQ IQ connection community in LA or here in Phoenix?
In Phoenix. Yeah.
In Phoenix.
Yeah.
And
Because
do you really
go
want
ahead.
to do that? Sorry, sorry.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
hmm
Yeah. And we have a
When would you like
community
to do
here.
that?
Well, it's got to be more now than
More now. When is the now?
this. There's a whole bunch of things that are right in front of me. Okay. Because usually
hmm
what we want is really close. Um, there are centers. Um, Number one, there is a gay area here that occasionally I go
hmm
to. But I want to go to something that's beyond just going to gay bars or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Second, there's organization. This is just where I see both an intersection between my personal desires and my professional desires. They're all personal
Right.
desires if you think about it. On the
Sure.
one hand, I think that I haven't been doing that for whatever reason. And that is something that I need to do now. And there's plenty of things that are just literally right in front of me.
hmm Well, and would you like to actually reach out to go to centers, organizations, maybe bars as
Yeah,
well?
definitely just, yeah, I have been at bars and all of that, but I think
Right.
how I want to meet people is at a different place. I mean, I think the way I want to meet people, bars are fun, but they're just
hmm
bars.
Yeah, just
So
bars.
I want to meet, yeah, to be able to connect with people in a more substantial way. I would like to
hmm
date and meet people in a more substantial way than
hmm
just that experience. And
Yeah.
so there are many organizations here um, that I can be part of.
Right. No, no, I'm listening. I think we again had some interruptions in the connection. I was just listening. I just said yes. I was just listening. hmm
So I think on the one hand is just to let me put it this way, Eric. I think it has to do with it's called like circulation in our blood. You know, we have to exercise to help our circulation. So I think for me, I need to circulate more with just these things. There's organizations, there's communities, there's social
hmm
connections, there's
hmm
events. And for whatever reason,
hmm
since I moved here, I haven't been doing that so much.
hmm
And I feel like, especially in meeting people, using that metaphor of circulation, that's part of where we create the circumstance to meet people and engage people. And
Aha.
by meeting and
hmm
engaging, also to meet people that, you know, how do we say? Yeah, there's synchronicities. Synchronicities come from action, you know, and
Yes,
sometimes the
come from
spontaneity
action.
or the synchronicity of the action comes when, you know, one is doing all the things that kind of line up with what I should be doing.
Just like you when you moved to Phoenix, right? You just
Yeah,
did that, and then probably
yeah,
synchronicities happened, right?
yeah,
You That's
yeah.
maybe my interpretation of when you said
Sure,
things just happened.
absolutely. Yeah, and
Mm.
it seems like magic. It's not because there's effort there's effort and action that comes from that. So I think
Effort and
that's really
action. Mhm.
yeah, because
So,
yeah,
just to also clarify, um, you said earlier that there were some, some obstacles in
mhm,
your mind. You said, I'm not younger. I need to get it right, and I need to be genuine and authentic version of me. So, one question: Can you actually do it? Can you actually not do it right in the sense of being genuine and
right,
authentic?
right.
You know, taking into account who you are now, your
Right.
way, your journey.
Mhm.
Is it even
Well,
possible not to be genuine and authentic this time?
right, right. Well, correct. I agree. And just to comment on my own, you know, reflection,
Uh huh.
um, you know, having to get it right implies like, oh, I'm thinking something's not right with me, you know,
Mm,
which is not really the case, you know. So,
it's not
I
really
mean,
the case.
no, it's not the case. And so that therein, it sounds like such a simple thing, but that, yeah, it's how do I put this? That's a very straightforward thing is that, you know, there's no such thing as perfect. And there's no such thing, thinking about, oh, well, I have to get it right because I had this bad experience in the past. Well,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's like the only way you have a good experience is by just living it.
Mm-hmm. So, and again, do you think you can get it
Yes.
not right?
Yeah. 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 I think it's also to be okay with like let's go back to how we started. It's
Mhm.
also to be okay with trying things that work or don't work.
Right. And that is okay,
And I
right?
think maybe yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I think I had a preoccupation with like, when something goes wrong, I I obsess about it.
Uh-huh.
And but this isn't that time or place. And also like,
Yes.
and then we get kind of put our flag in the sand about some certain, you know, conclusion that's not necessarily truthful.
There we go. Yes, you just said conclusion, and earlier you said if things go wrong, what isn't it actually our interpretation of
What wrong is.
circumstance
Yeah.
of
Sure.
what wrong is?
Right.
You
I
said
think,
also that you want to
you
learn
know,
from
yeah,
experience. Mm.
Eric, if this is coaching is beautiful, which is I love it. Um, I think if I had to go, like we've been talking for about 50 minutes, um, I if I could summarize what we've just talked about, I think
Sure.
really what this came down to is a fear of being hurt again.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
that's really what was going
The fear
on,
of being
and
hurt again, that is something which is, or let me paraphrase, is this something worth looking into more in more detail?
it paused.
Sorry. It, being afraid of being hurt again, is this a
Mhm.
topic which you would like to look more in detail
Oh,
into?
yeah, I can talk about it another time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it's really weird because going through the coaching programs, those were the things that I've been resolving. So,
Sure.
um,
Mm-hmm.
um, and but I really say is like, yeah, it's just like being okay with going out and living, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and yeah, I know the result that I want to have. Which is I want to have a very nice, healthy, beautiful, mutually supportive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
My next life partner, and I want to live this time in my life. I want that to be a fair. These are way off topic of where we got, but this all
Mm-hmm.
seems into to where I'm going with this. You know
Mm-hmm.
that I want this period in my life to be very fulfilling in kind of all these areas of life, right? And I think one of them, I as I go through my own coaching problems is, and it's something I've just experienced recently, is like I had like two lives, right? Before and after
Mm-hmm.
transition.
Right.
And coming to a resolution about both of them and really being okay with both of them, because for a long time I talked about them like they're two different things, but they weren't. I was just one
Right.
and the same person.
Yes.
And it's taken me quite a while to come to a better place of feeling at peace with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think how that applies is that, we're talking about clarity, is just talking through this gives me, these are the things that I'm looking for in a relationship where it's mutually supportive, that
Mm-hmm.
it's, it's this point in my life where I can both feel fulfilled in a relationship emotionally, you know, and that all these things that I want to enjoy now kind of
Mm-hmm.
coalesce, they come together, you know, and I think there are things that I'm doing about that professionally that I feel really good about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's things, there's lots of things that I feel really good about, to be honest with you. And I think right now, just talking through this kind of, I'm going to use the word we started with. It's a little clearer since we started.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a
Okay.
clearer
Okay.
about how things were, the aspects of things that were keeping me stopped.
Mm-hmm. That's what you wanted, right? That's part of your goal.
Yeah.
Clarity is
Yeah,
what you
and
want.
I think part of clarity, yes, and I think part of clarity is a whole different perspective on the same circumstance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let's just before we wrap it up. Well, there
Okay.
are people here. I hope they don't
Yeah.
go over me. Before we wrap
Okay.
it up, just to go one more step back
Sure.
into the options. What do you think can you do today to be more
Sure.
comfortable to take risks?
Sure. I think you know, in a word, it's almost grounding and connecting with myself.
Mm,
You know,
yes. Okay.
about who I am
Grounding,
and where
connecting
I.
with yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm. About who
And
you
as I
are.
do
Hmm.
that, that's when I bring myself, all of me forward, and not a version of me that's preoccupied or worried about X, Y, and Z.
And how can you connect
Well,
more with
it's
yourself?
yeah, thank you. Um, Number one, it's a daily routine and practice. So there are definitely exercises I can do to do that. And second, as part of doing that, just to think about little things I can do differently each day. Like whether it's like maybe I reach out to one more group that I haven't talked to yet.
Mhm. Is
To
there such a group which you would like to reach out to?
yeah, oh
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, there's a couple of organizations.
Okay.
And third, to to be open to other social things that come up in my life, that they are there. I
Yeah.
think I had been you know, unconsciously like they're there, but I was not willing to see them.
Yes.
So in other words,
Avoidance.
part of connecting myself is to be aware, more aware.
Mhm. To be aware, more aware. Now again, we have some interruption on the internet connection. Sorry. Now you're back. Mhm. So let's just sum up and have a look. In the beginning of our conversation, we said that was the goal. I have a more, I have more clarity
Mhm.
how to be more comfortable, to take risks, to make it happen. And by it, we mean finding your next life partner.
Mhm.
And when looking at feeling comfortable, where you were at number 4, what do you think are you now? What number is it now? Which number could you give now in terms of I'm now comfortable of taking the risk and going out there and make it happen actually?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's kind of like it's more like a 7, almost
It's more
7
like
or
a
8
7
because
now.
yeah,
Mhm.
because it's well, I mean, I think in the mind, like we're talking about, you make it a big production when it's not really such a big production. It's rather
Well,
straightforward.
everything starts in our mind.
Mhm.
So that is where the whole work happens.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when we look at the clarity, how clear is it now today for you, or now, not today, right now, compared to the
Sure.
beginning of our conversation? Where do you feel you are right now from 0?
Uh, 7,
Okay.
you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and you wanted an 8 or 9, so you leap jumped
Pretty close.
3 points.
Absolutely.
Hmm. And what would you say have you learned about yourself?
Oh, sure. Um, I think really in a word is really to appreciate myself and appreciate my voyage, you know?
Yes. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate your voyage.
Mm. It's pretty unbelievable, you know?
Indeed. What would be your
Because
takeaways?
I think the takeaways are one to really to be at home with I have everything I need right in front of me, believe it or not. And sometimes and to engage that, then things can
Hmm.
happen.
Then
I
things gonna happen. Mhm.
just like moving here, my best friend moved to Phoenix 2 years before me, and I
Mhm.
was always visiting Phoenix. And at some point, my friend was saying, "Keep an open mind."
Yes.
And I think what I began to realize is that I had much better opportunity. That was the place for the next phase of my life, you know.
Mhm.
And as well, I think in terms of relationship and business and other aspects, you know, they're all one and part of the whole person. So I think about my takeaway is just stay on my voyage, in a word.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Mm. In the model we're applying today, grow, there is a last letter, the W
mm,
standing for will, and it stands for what are you willing to do? What would you like to do in the
oh,
future, in order to achieve your goal, which was set in the beginning?
I think really what I have to be willing to do is do things or action that I haven't done,
Uh-huh.
and to have that, and to just to think about every day, what are simple steps I can do today that
Hmm.
gently push my desires forward, that gently push my goals forward. Okay, and think
I love
about
the
that.
gently. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, because we think about goals and we like, and that never
Yeah.
works.
It's just one
Whereas,
foot in front of another.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So that's kind of what makes sense to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I think that the things for me to do that I haven't been doing, number one, to put myself out there to the various organizations,
Yes. Hmm.
to be, to engage myself socially more, you know, with like-minded, like-minded people who are interested in
Hmm.
that. And
Yes.
three, have fun with it.
Have fun with it.
Yeah,
Beautiful. That is
yeah,
the opposite of fear. That is the opposite of hiding.
right, right.
The
It
opposite
is.
of fear and hiding is
Mm,
also love, what it says on your t-shirt as well.
yeah,
So
lead. It says, yeah.
yes, let love lead. So yes,
Mhm,
why not let love and fun lead
mhm,
on that
absolutely.
next journey, right? That you are on.
Mhm,
So thank you so much, Tony, for opening up so much, so well, and
mhm,
for going on to this journey with me today. And I wish you all the best on connecting and having fun. I wish you to have fun
mhm,
experiencing new connections and trying something you haven't tried before.
mhm,
So,
absolutely.
so that
Okay.
would be it for the coaching.
Mhm,
So, if you wish, I would love to offer you another session just on the topic that is being afraid of being hurt again, for example, or also anything else, anything which you feel like there is a stressful thought. And there, I would love to offer you the Byron Katie work because it's just, yes, it's amazing. Hmm.
love to work on that. Okay.
Yes, I would greatly
Okay.
appreciate.
And I have my own method of coaching that I will go through, and we can talk about that next time.
Yes, absolutely. I just also want to mention to everybody watching, maybe in repeat, that Tony is an amazing coach. She gave me a coaching session, which was, I think, like a double or triple coaching session when I really was in need. I was in the hospital and I was on a
Oh,
real low mentally and physically, actually, and it really, really helped me. I really loved your method. It feels so simple and straightforward and so deep. And I love simplicity. I really love when questions are simple, especially when we're the repeated simple questions and when we're, just you're going deeper and deeper and deeper. It's amazing. And I love coaching. Thank you for that.
oh, thank you. That was a privilege. I appreciate, especially, well, we both know how vulnerable surgeries are, you know, and I do see that as I have like tons of ideas of things I want to do right now. We could talk
Hmm.
another time about that.
Okay.
Um, and I'm really no, it makes me happy to know that that was really helpful to you.
It was. It was. I'm very grateful. Okay.
Yeah,
So
good.
thank you
And
for having
oh, you're
time.
welcome. And you're doing great right now from what I saw in the group.
Oh, thank you. You mean
I mean,
by
especially as far as the surgery.
hmm yes. Oh, yes. I have finally. I can finally say that everything is healed, and finally, I think this was the last. Just for people who don't know, that was the last phase, last surgery that was planned for my journey, for my transition, and I actually it was the third attempt, and I actually kind of internally said to myself that this would be the last one, because this if this doesn't work out, then it's just not supposed to, and that's okay as well. And I'm very more than happy that it did work.
Beautiful,
So yes,
beautiful.
yes, thank you for being there for me, for supporting me so much, and thank you so much out to my wonderful RTT family. You've helped me
Yeah.
so much with the candles, with the meditations. Oh my God, it's
Mhm.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And until next time, and Tony, have a wonderful new day.
Okay.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.